So let's go over to the editor and we can start to put together the introduction to the article. Now our notes are over on the Scratchpad and we don't want to be flicking between the two tabs, so if we click on this button up here we can open a copy of the Scratchpad in a separate window, and that's not docked to the first window, so if you have a second monitor you could put it on there, but let's just leave it there for the moment. And this was the notes that we put originally up when we were planning the article, and we also talked about pepper spray. Now this, I can actually delete all that because we've still got all that inside the Scratchpad. We haven't lost that information, and we can start to write the article itself. And so I just want to type in a little bit of an introduction. Okay, and I'm going to put a title here. Okay, so what is capsaicin? Although most people probably don't know what capsaicin is, if you've eaten chili peppers you've already been introduced to capsaicin. It's the compound in capsicum peppers that give them their heat. Okay, and I can then remove bits of this here. We don't need that anymore because we've added that already. Okay, I'm going to address this a little bit now. The white membrane inside the pepper contains most of the capsaicin. And this isn't my finished article over here. I'm just trying to get the notes from here over into an article in my own words, and then I can rearrange and modify as I see fit. Capsaicin is concentrated in the white membranes inside the chilies. Plural of chilies has an E in there. Capsaicin is concentrated in the white membrane inside the chilies. There isn't so much in the pepper itself, and contrary to popular belief, the seeds do not contain the compound. There was something a bit further down in my notes. Let's have a look. Okay, where does the heat reside in chili? Not many claim it's all in the seeds. I have heard that the capsinoids are stored in the membranes of the chili. Right, that's the question. Capsinoids are located in the chili membrane or in the placental tissue which holds the seeds. Although many people believe the seeds are the hottest, seeds do not produce capsaicin but do absorb some from the placental tissue during processing. Okay, so I'm going to add that little bit over here. Capsaicin is concentrated in the white membranes inside the chilies. There isn't so much in the pepper itself, and contrary to popular belief, the seeds do not contain the compound. The seeds can absorb capsaicin from the surrounding tissues during development, though, which is why they can be hot. Right, let me just change this slightly. Capsaicin. There isn't so much in pepper itself. Contrary to popular belief, seeds do not contain, do not make the compound. Okay. Okay, the next thing I want to include here is a bit of information on this, because it's about what capsaicin does for the chili plant, and basically they think it's there for protection against being eaten by mammals, and a lot of mammals are sensitive to capsaicin, so avoid it. However, birds, which are the natural distributors of seeds, are actually insensitive to capsaicin and don't feel the heat, so they can eat the chilies and distribute the seeds, whereas mammals can't. So that's an interesting point. So I'm going to just put it over here. In the chili plants, capsaicin is thought to protect the fruits from mammals who are sensitive to the heat. On the other hand, birds, who are the natural distributors of the seeds, are insensitive to capsaicin. Okay, I can delete that bit now. Let's go back up here and have a look what we've got left. I'm going to talk about the Scoville heat scale. Also here, where a couple of the markets where capsaicin is being used, sports injuries, in topical creams and also in diets. This bit here is about how to stop the burning sensations and also the euphoria you feel when you eat it. This again is to do with the Scoville unit, so I'm going to just shove that down with the Scoville stuff. Okay, just put a little bit there about the burning sensation, and I'm going to move now on to the possible endorphin release when people eat chilies, and then also talk about how to get rid of the heat from your mouth once you've eaten them. That's all in the notes as well. I'm going to just pause the video while I type that. Okay, I'll finish that first little bit. It's just a spelling mistake there. That's a genus, so it should be capital S. Right. The next bit is I want to talk about the Scoville scale. So I'm going to include the information from here downwards in my article. The heat from chili peppers is measured on the Scoville scale, named after chemist Wilbur Scoville. Okay, you can see what I'm doing. I'm just taking the information here, rewriting it in my own words over here. Again, I'm going to pause the video so the video doesn't get too long, and I'll be back as soon as I finish this section. Okay, I've just added the bit about the Scoville heat scale, and I just want to give credit to Wikipedia, who were the source of the scale. Let me see here, I've made a note of the URL, copied the URL. Taken from Wikipedia, and I'll just turn that into a hyperlink. Okay, and I'm going to save my article now. You see my article already has 431 words, and this is supposedly just the introduction, so maybe we could actually make 2 or 3 articles out of this research. Let's have a look. I've now included all of this, and I've included that. And what have we got left? We've just got this little bit here from that research we did on the introduction to the chilies. You see, we've still got all this to do. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to use this as an introduction, and then I'm going to create 1 or more articles on the rest of this as well, and then we can put together sort of a little mini site. So let's have a look. We've got just this last little bit I need to include just as part of the introduction. So let me just pause the video, and I'm going to go and do that, and then I'll be straight back. Okay, so from that initial research, I've put together a 500-word article on basically what is capsaicin, and I think I'm going to use that as the title for this article, because I wasn't initially intending to write about all of this in the same article, but I think 500 words is enough for now. I mean, I could make this 3,000 or 4,000 word article, and I have done that before, but it makes the page very long, and people do tend to get a bit bored with that. So maybe it would be better to split this up and turn it into a series of articles, which would then turn into a mini site where we've got this what is capsaicin perhaps as the home page, and then links to cancer, lung disease, weight loss, blood pressure, heart disease, and so on as separate pages, just to build out a little mini site. So that's the article writing process from the research, and while it took me longer to do while I was recording, that probably would have taken me 30 minutes to write. That is 495 words, close to 500 word article, unique article, useful article. So that's how I would do it. The final step now is just to go through this article, reread it, make sure there's no grammatical errors, and also just change it around if I need to, make sure it reads well for a human, and then that is the article finished.